Okay, all right. Let me set this episode up. The clip. So in this episode, my son and I and my daughter, we just finished hanging out for about 2 hours. This is on the 14th of October, 2021. It's the day before the 15th of October, which is typically the anniversary of my marriage to Naomi and Nathan's mother. But this happens to be the first anniversary date, the first 15th of October, since 2005, where I'm not married. And I'm happy. I celebrate all of the holidays that, are important, birthdays and anniversaries. I'm happy. I mean, the only thing I'm upset about regarding marriage is, custody stuff, because it didn't go the way that I wanted it to go. And, so I'm dealing with it, living with it, you know what I'm saying? But the children, after our visit, here's what kind of prompted the clip that you're going to hear. Here's the setup to it. I've loaded my car up, so I'm about to get ready to drive off. There was a bee, a really kind of, I could tell the bee was real lazy. The bee was sitting on the big bird chair. So I was going to kill it. My children, my son looked at it and said, "Oh my God, it's a wasp." This wasn't even a scary bee. Like, it was that docile and whatever that. So, but for him to look at it and call it a wasp, it's like, son, you're 10 years old. What are you running? I'm in my mind. What are you running from a wasp for? And they both run, him and they run in the house and close the door. Now, the visit is technically over. So, but we usually, before we leave, we give each other hugs. We did a lot of hugging already, but I drag out the hugging because, to make it really, it's a big deal. So anyway, they run in the house, close the door. So I get in the car and I'm setting up my Bluetooth and getting ready to leave. And then I get this phone call from them. Now, this phone call, roughly about 10 minutes long. Now, going into it, if you only listen to the clip and follow the clip, you would think that I'm off in my responses. But here's going in. I want you to know. Valerie, their mother, is listening to everything going on. Valerie and Nathan have had some type of interaction that I don't know the details of their interaction, but whatever went on between Valerie and my son, he is sad. He's sad because he wanted to have a visit with me. Part of the context is they wanted to have a visit with me last Saturday, but Valerie created something else for them to do, which is against the rules, but she did it anyway, or whatever. Now, this coming Saturday is not technically my Saturday, but my son and daughter, they want to hang out with me on Saturday, of course. But I said, well, let's do it on Sunday. It's almost like a duplicate of what happened last Saturday, but in the opposite way. You know what I'm saying? But, when I got screwed, I didn't make no complaints about it, this last time. I just documented it for my records. But this time, now. So they want to hang out with me this Saturday. I got stuff going on this Saturday, but maybe Sunday could work. You know what I'm saying? Or if the children just come with me on Saturday, they can go with me. Like if there was no custody battle, everything would work out good. The only reason why there's a custody battle is because of Valerie. So what you're getting ready to hear is, this is going in. Here's 3 bullet points you need to go listening, knowing the end of the story going into this thing, okay? I need to give you the spoilers. Number 1, Valerie is sitting there listening while Nathan and I are talking. Every conversation on the phone where my son and I are talking or my daughter and I are talking, Valerie is sitting there listening in. if she's not at a single moment or whatever, the majority for the past 2 years since this has been going on, every time it happens, she's sitting there. That's against the rules because that's a little bit of intimidation or whatever. It's against the law technically, but it's against the rules or whatever. But she does it anyway, and she gets away with it. Number two, my talking to my son, I'm not talking to him. Even though it sounds like I'm talking to him, because I know Valerie's listening in, as I direct my discussion to Nathan, it's really designed for her. Because that's really who's doing the stuff. Because things that happen if you listen to if you listen to this show, then you already know that Valerie uses Nathan to, poke and prod at me. But I haven't let it fully work the way that she likes it to work. So that's number two. So as I'm making my points and as I sound angry and aggressive, it's really because I'm really directing that at Valerie, and she knows it. And so the third thing is the call gets hung up on at the end because Valerie, she's listening in, and as I make that final point, it brought her to tears and she's crying about it, which means that she's, like I said, she's listening to the whole thing. So she has the custody at the moment of the children. So she gets to brainwash them and do all that stuff. I don't do that stuff. I don't do that. I would never do that to my children. But I'm in a scenario where I only have them for 27 hours out of any month. 27 hours out of a month. She has them for 717 hours or more per month. So she's able to mess around with my 27 hours. I can never mess around with hers. So that's the context going in. Please enjoy the clip and, give me your comments, your whatever, direct them to, go to m3dots.com. You can leave the comments there or hit me up and my email is m3dots@yahoo.com. Thanks a lot. Bless you. Hello?
We told you not to kill the wasp. We don't know whether or not you did. Dad, why didn't you listen to us?
Baby. son, that was not a wasp.
Don't want you to get hurt.
Okay, I understand. Well, look, I'll see you on Sunday, okay?
Dad, okay, Dad. But
Wait. Are you crying? I'm sorry. Come back outside.
No. Dad, no. We're not crying. But, Dad, listen. We can't see you on Sunday, but I don't want you to get hurt.
Okay. All right, well, I'll see you on Tuesday then. And yeah, I'm not going to get hurt, baby.
Don't die.
Okay, I won't die, and that was not a wasp. That was a lazy bee.
That didn't look anything like a bee.
I looked at it. I was close to it.
Maybe not a bumblebee.
No, it was a fumblebee, not even a bumblebee. It was a fumblebee.
Dad, listen.
Yeah.
Don't get hurt.
Okay, I won't get hurt.
Why aren't you coming Saturday?
My Saturday was last Saturday, and
we tried to get you to come on a different day, and you didn't come.
Yeah, I when we're together, I plan the next day. If we're gonna do this, then let's you and me and Naomi, let's work it out the way it's gonna be. All of the stuff between.
Come on Saturday.
My Saturday was last Saturday. This.
Yeah, that's not answering my question.
Because this Saturday is not my Saturday. This Saturday is not my Saturday. My Saturday was last Saturday.
We're not in charge.
Baby, listen, sweetheart, I want to. Then listen. If y'all want to be with me on Saturday, I can come early in the morning and I can bring y'all with me. Okay? And then y'all can roll with me. I can take you. The place
Where
is.
are you going? you have your windows up?
No, baby, I'm sitting outside. I was getting ready to drive off. I'm sitting outside. Should I talk to you guys later? I'm finna drive off, or y'all come back outside for a second?
Dad, you
Yes.
want to call? No. Bring us with you where exactly?
On Saturday?
Yeah.
Listen. I have two major things I gotta do. I have to listen. I'll tell you, son. I'll tell you. Uh, on Saturday, my father, my two sisters, and my nieces and nephews, Mason, Mackenzie, Major, Ryan, and Raven, we are all meeting at my father's house, and we're going to hang out on Saturday. That's what I'm doing all day Saturday. And then the second thing is my little brother, Josh, he's coming and he's driving up, and me, him, and my father are about to sit down and have a meeting so we can talk and hang out and talk about family stuff. So all of that is happening on Saturday. And that's important to me. I gotta do that. My time with y'all was on Saturday. If you got listen, I want to take you guys. I can listen, everything that I do, pretty much every day, if you guys were with me, it would work. You guys can always come with me. I don't do it anytime. The only reason, listen, Nathan, listen. The only reason why you can't come with me on Saturday, the only reason is because of your mother. And I'm not trying to be mad or nothing like that. I'm just telling you, I love you, son. I want you and my daughter, I want y'all with me all the time. There's no reason, there's no actual reason. So if Saturday y'all want to hang out with me, we can do it. I will come pick you up and roll and we'll do everything. Y'all want all the details? Y'all don't give me details. For 2 years, I don't get details of stuff. Y'all just do, not you, but if it's going, listen, no, son, I'm sorry.
Dad,
Let
you don't
me,
ask.
let me finish what I'm saying. Let me just finish.
Dad, listen to me. If you can come this Sunday, why couldn't you come last Sunday?
Son, my day with you guys was Saturday. So I planned my whole listen, son. I am only because of your mother, I can only see you 2 hours on Tuesday, 2 hours on Thursday, and 6 hours every other Saturday. The rest of the listen, son, stop, son. Listen. Just listen. Listen. Every other hour of my life, if I could have you with me, you would be with me. But because your mother has set it up this way so that I don't have you with me, the rest of my Sunday does not belong to nobody but me. So what I'm saying is that if we're going to be mean and being vindictive and all of that, I don't play those games. Stop, son. Stop. I'm not talking to you, son. I'm not talking to you. I just need, son. Shush. Son. I dealt with all of everything you do and talk to me about. Listen right now, please. If it's going to work, where you know what I got going on Sunday, you know what I got going. If it's gonna work, that means you're with me. I don't live in that household no more. I don't owe anybody in that household an explanation, just like y'all don't feel y'all owe me any explanation of anything. So, on the last Sunday, I was working on stuff, but I could have easily been with my children on Sunday. But everything that goes on when it didn't happen on Saturday, come on, man. I can't. My life. I have a life. I'm working on stuff, babies. Okay, listen. Stop, son. Stop talking. Just listen for a second. What I'm saying is that the real issue is this coming Saturday. I already know. Listen, I already know that your mother is not trying to make it so that our relationship, yours and mine, and my daughter, is working good. I already know that. So listen, stop talking. I I I I I I, I already know that. So my goal in life for the next 11 years, however long this bull crap of me visiting my children instead of being able to raise my children and y'all be with me on a regular basis, if it's not going to be like that, then your expectations got to be lower. Listen, let me tell you something. Everything that your mother does for you, my mother protects me. My mother does this for us. I can do all of that. I enabled your mother to be able to do all of that. I am your father. I know everything what to do to raise my two children without your mother if necessary. I want to co-parent. I want to work together with your mother. But your mother has decided the way she's going to treat me is the way. Stop talking. Just listen. I know. Then don't. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm saying that only thing I want is you, and only thing I want is you and my daughter to be able to have me. Anytime you say I want my daddy, I want y'all to be able to get in the car with me and we roll out. I want y'all to be able to call me. I want y'all to be able to text me. I want everything to be totally, totally limitless. Your mother blocks it. You and me, we're not even on Messenger together, on Kids Messenger together. You got all your other friends on Kids Messenger. So when you ask me about Sunday, and I'm not talking to you per se, we ain't even got, me and you ain't even on Kids Messenger so we can talk on a regular basis. So, yes, I want you to know, son, I'm saying it out loud to you. I, your father, Matthew, am capable of taking care of you at the same level, if not better, than your mother. I'm not finna fight her about all this stuff. I'm gonna live my life. And when I have my children, I'm going to have my children. But when I don't have my children, and she wants to play it like this and keep it like this, cool. Cool. I'm going to enjoy my life. I got stuff I got to do. I'm 45 years old. I got stuff I got to do with my life because, and I'm not just sitting around. I've never been able to sit at home all day while somebody goes out and work. I've never been able to have that. But I did that for Valerie. I did that for 5 years before you were born and throughout your life. And your perspective on it, son, is just because of your perspective right now. That's why 2036 is important. Because in 2036, you will have a much better perspective because you'll be 25 years old. And you'll be a full-fledged man. You are a brilliant son. I talk about you and my daughter all the time. You guys are my priorities are you, Naomi, and my mother and my father. My priorities before you were born for 5 years was Valerie first. My priorities after you were born. Okay, you may not have been able to make out what Valerie said at the end, but here's what I'm trying to say. As you can tell, I don't, this situation that happened, this speech that I just gave, I have never had such a great scenario where all of my words hit where it needed. It was so perfect today for some reason. And I say that because if you understand everything, you'll know what I mean by that. Okay. Now, Valerie was listening to the whole thing. And if you go back and analyze it, which I don't recommend anybody just go back and forth, but I analyze this stuff because this is my life. So understand, Valerie's listening to the whole thing. So when she when she hears that stuff, Valerie would love for the narrative to be Matt is a deadbeat dad because he don't pay no child support, and I'm got the children, and everything you think about Matt is horrible. But I've that's not the actual truth. The actual truth is in what I said, which is the only reason why we're not co-parenting and that I only have my children for 27 hours a month. And she has the children for 717 hours a month is because of Valerie's choice. That's her. And, the whole deadbeat dad thing, she wants that to be the label on me. And I came up with a term, and that's called deadweight mom. That's what Valerie is. She's a deadweight mom in this scenario. That's what I feel. Deadweight. She's been dead weight for 5 years before my children. Dead weight throughout the whole marriage in a lot of areas. And I'm working on. I got a song called "Dead Weight" that I'm working on where I'm gonna get into that. Now, listen, I wouldn't have all this frustration if she was just a good co-parenting. This is a Christian woman, Valerie, Christian woman. She's an elder in the church. That woman is an elder in the church that I'm talking about. That's an elder in the church right there. Valerie is an elder in the church. You go see a picture. You can see a picture at the church. She's an elder. That's an elder. So can we? Why is it that a man of God and she's a woman of God? How is it that we not cohesive? Why? Because you're not functioning in true pure religion or whatever. Now, here's the point. That's why she got mad and hung up the phone. Because she's listening in. Let me and my son have our time together. Actually right there. That's illegal for you to interrupt the communication between the son, between the father and the son. When you do that, that's illegal. But see, so far the system does not penalize her. If I miss a child support payment, we taking her to jail, blah, 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 blah. But what is child support? Supporting the child. The child needs more than a few dollars. And that's why it's a blessing in my situation that child support has not been ordered to me. And she hates that. That's part of what the venom is that she's angry about. The children in her hands are hostages. The children are pawns. She's using them to accomplish whatever her anger. And that's why the children, this is what I love about my son. Nathan when Nathan is talking, like in this call, he sounds sad and, but Dad, I don't want you to get hurt. Nathan don't talk like that all the time. Nathan only talks like that when he was way, way younger. What my son did for me, this is how wonderful and brilliant my son is. This is how wonderful and brilliant my son is. My son called me knowing that his mother was he's a hostage. So, but my son is actually signaling to me and helping me from the inside. That's what he's doing. Now, Lysandra or Olivia or Pearl, which is Valerie's mother, or Richard or Maya, all of those people are adults and none of them stand up to Valerie and tell her you're doing wrong by Matthew. I don't know what their conversations are, but all of them, I can't stand none of them. Why? Because all of the blessings that I've done for them, how they leave me hanging all and soldier up whatever Valerie needs. So who stands up to Valerie? Me. My son is watching me stand up to Valerie and watching everybody else kowtow to her. And now he got to deal with it. And I don't envy his situation. I lived in that situation for 15 years, 10 days. I lived in that situation for 15 years, 10 months, and 12 days. I know what Nathan's going through. And that's why I don't, what I'm supposed to do is, oh, son, because when y'all hear that, automatically the default or what you would think to do is the opposite of what I did. You see what I'm saying? But when you're, let's take an analogy. Let's say you're casting out a demon or whatever, church people. You don't respond to a certain thing. No, you keep and you go after that demon. At least, in that scenario, if you're working on something difficult, hey, if it's tough, you just got to get in there and do it. In my scenario, it's tough, emotional toughness. But hopefully, now that you have, for this little situation, this is only, that was only a little 10-minute phone call. And mind you, when my son went in the house, he wants to spend all his time with me. My son is not afraid of me or nothing like that. So when he went in the house, when he's saying, I don't want you to be hurt, I don't want you to be killed, my son don't talk like that. So I know he's signaling to me. He's bat signaling to me. And thank God for I do listen. Even though I act like I'm not listening, I'm paying attention, but I have to do this dance because really the bottom line is that let's say Valerie and me are in a shootout. She's shooting weapons at me and I'm shooting weapons at her. The children, she's using the children as a shield and using the children to soften my position. What I got to do is my bullets cannot touch my son. They can't touch my daughter. Or if any of my bullets are going to touch my son, I have to be real smooth so that it's aimed in the right space. And that's why it's called spiritual warfare. Spiritual warfare. That's a conversation. And that's a little bit of emotional warfare. That's what you heard in that conversation between Valerie and me. That's emotional warfare. Emotional. She's using the children like she's doing, putting pressure, and me and back. That's emotional because the fight is between Valerie and me. That's where the fight is. It's not between the children. Because guess what? In another 5 minutes later, and let's say I was still with the children right now. 5 minutes later, we'd just be jumping and playing and laughing. Okay, I know my children. I cut the umbilical cords. Those are my babies. Those are my babies. Just like they're her babies, they're my babies. All right? Now, if you parallel this situation where Jesus versus Satan or God versus Satan or whatever way you want to look at it, where situations that happen in people's lives and you talk about the spiritual warfare, there's a spiritual warfare aspect and it's similar to emotional warfare. What I was doing in that call was I was engaged in the emotional warfare part, but I had already done a lot of the spiritual warfare stuff, not on the call. That is where, if you go to the Mad Lipson show or listen to some of my music or whatever, you'll kind of get some of those. I understand what I'm talking about. But the point I'm making is that in this scenario, bless the Lord, I thank God, because in this scenario, I like what happened because here's what really happened. Valerie is stressed out. This is my speculation. I put it like this. This is my speculation. Valerie is stressed out because it's 2 years now. No money coming from me. And she's operating in anger and vengeance. So when you carry anger and vengeance, you get tired. She's got the children, and keeping the children means that you should be able to get some type of payday. And she hasn't gotten the payday. Other people get the payday. Other people get the revenge on their spouse, but she hasn't been able to get that real revenge on the spouse, on me. And she's dealing with the effects of that. And on top of that, she's dealing with the effects of being with a good man. Here's what I could say. In the Bible, Hosea said about Gomer, have I not been good to you? I've been so good to you that I'm better than 10 men. He functioned like 10 men. Hosea did for Gomer. Look that up. Haven't I been better to you than 10 men? You unappreciative Gomer? You Gomer, you? That was the wife's name. That was the lady's name, Gomer. I studied that like 7, 8 years before I got married. 6, 7, 4 years before I got married. So I knew at least, I may not be able to do 10 men, but I'm the M3 dots. I'm Matt, you know what I'm saying? M dot dot dot. So doggone it, I'll at least be better than 3 men. And I have. Throughout my life, was that I had came up with a proverb about myself. Man cannot serve 2 masters, but Matt has always worked 2 jobs. And then there was a time period where man cannot serve 2 masters, but Matt's working 3 jobs. You see what I'm saying? So, my son and my daughter, now that I'm retired from the military, only thing that I got to do with my life for the next 11, 12 years is raise my 2 babies. That's the number one thing. Everything else is second, third, fifth, whatever. If I don't make it to this, if I don't call you back, listen, because this is what I'm working on. I'm working on these babies. I'm working on dislodging them from this hostage situation of this hostile heifer. Ooh, I like that, hostile heifer. This hostile heifer. This Gomer-minded hostile heifer. For her to be mad and hang up, the reason why that was a victory for me is because the truth hurts. And no matter how you tell your story to all these other people, and no matter how you set it up, you're hurting your children. And your daughter crying, your son crying, your son and daughter being emotionally hurting, the choices you, heifer, you hostile heifer, the choices you made is causing that. Not the choices I made. Because throughout our marriage, I did my best to not argue with you about every little thing. I didn't have no big expectations of you. I didn't go into the marriage expecting what is this woman going to do for me. I went into marriage thinking about what I'm going to do. But you hostile heifer, you went into the marriage figuring out what you gonna get out of this situation. And unfortunately, there are a lot of hostile heifers in life. There's a lot of hostile heifers. And my son, right now, he's getting a good class in when you choose who you gonna be with. I have a feeling that he might not want to be in the situation that he saw his father go through. I believe. So, and I told Valerie, I told my hostile heifer, that's what I'm going to start calling him. I told my hostile heifer that, remember, sons marry their mother. So if you like what you're doing, continue, because your son is going to marry a woman just like you. That's not a curse. She said, why are you trying to curse my son? I said, why do you think that that's a curse? Your daughter is going to marry somebody like you. Guess what? I want that. Because I like me. I like what I do. I look at m3dots.com. Look at what I've accomplished. I ain't no poo butt. I ain't no, and listen, here's the thing. The first era of my life, it's done. You go look at the records. You go to m3dots.com, see what's up there. You'll see what I'm about. This era of my life, the second era, this must be part of the bullcrap. This is bullcrap. What I'm going through is bullcrap. It's stupid. It's stupid. This is she needs to do that to somebody who's a poo butt. Don't do that to a man of God. The only reason why it might be effective is because I care. What if I didn't care? Then what? Then what? What, you go to court? What, you go to court and child support? Guess what? You don't get child support and I do care. What if I actually didn't care? You see what I'm saying? That boy and that girl, my son and my daughter, I'm not raising children. I did not have children so that I wouldn't raise them. I had children and I take responsibility for my actions and my scenario. Me and Valerie, me and my hostile heifer, these children were not accidents. These were planned children. Planned. Anyway, thank you for listening.